Is life better in Europe than North America? Well, after moving to Europe nearly 3 years ago, we want to share that everything is not rainbows and unicorns. There are several crucial aspects you should be aware of when considering moving abroad to Portugal or anywhere else in Europe for that matter. Many videos and articles focus on the positives of moving abroad. However, few discuss the potential downsides and challenges.
So we want to share our honest experiences to help you have realistic expectations. We want to discuss both the good and the bad, or the challenging aspects of living abroad in Europe or in Portugal.
We love our new life in Portugal, and is almost picture perfect. We live on a beautiful island with stunning ocean views. Daily walks to the cafes are just outside of our door. Meeting new people every day, hiking, walking, golfing, and affordable travel are all at our fingertips. However, it is different living in Europe, and many Americans find themselves unhappy or unfulfilled. Our goal is to provide you with a balanced perspective so that you can make the best choice for your future. If you are interested in moving abroad, sign up for our It'll Be Fun Moving Abroad program. The link is in the description below.
So let's talk about the challenges and the adjustments. Adjusting to life overseas in a foreign country, there are cultural differences. We live in Southern Europe, and the lifestyle is slower paced compared to the U.S. Realistically, that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? However, we've discovered that patience really is required for your daily interactions and services. When we first came, it was very difficult to get used to the slow pace, in a restaurant, just getting them to take your order, having them come back to the table, having them bring your check so you can pay. All of those things are very European, and it's nice, but it takes a lot of getting used to because you think you're being ignored.
And then there's practical adjustments that you need to be making. For example, laundry is not very common for dryers to be where we're at here, and most people dry their clothes outside on a rack, just the way they do it here. And most homes don't have air conditioning or heating at all. So if that's an important issue for you, you need to consider the installation costs and feasibility of having them.
Let's talk about the cost of living. We have many videos that give you our actual costs. You can refer back to those. But understanding the cost of living, as the world has come forward since we've lived here, we want you to know the housing prices here, where we are on the island of Madeira, they're not cheaper than the Midwest and the Southern United States. It's actually probably more expensive to buy something here. Now, if you are from California or the East Coast, so the coast, then you're going to find that the pricing on property here is probably great. You're going to go dancing down the street because you're getting this great deal.
Another consideration for understanding the cost of living is there's high sales tax and vehicle costs that are involved. Sales taxes are higher here in Europe, and cars and electronics are probably 20 to 30% more expensive. But the sticker price shows the full cost, including the tax, so you don't have to do any spur-of-the-moment calculations to figure out how much it actually costs. And then you've got expensive road tolls, and they're probably 30% higher on gas prices compared to the U.S. But the driving is fun.
Yeah, it might be a little more expensive to drive around, but it is quite fun. It's exciting, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so while the costs are higher for these items, your everyday items can balance that out. Your everyday items such as, going to the grocery, healthcare costs, cell phones, utilities, all of those things are much more cost effective, and they help.
Some financial considerations that you need to be aware of. Let's talk about healthcare. I'll start off talking about healthcare. Healthcare is significantly cheaper than the U.S., about 70 to 90% savings compared to the U.S.
For us.
Yeah, it was for us anyway. Now we go to doctors regularly and not afraid of any bills that happen to come, so we can afford the healthcare here and take advantage of it.
Exactly. So, other costs, grocery costs. You'll hear many people talk about grocery, that the food's better, the vegetables are fresher. Yes, maybe they are. However, if you're shopping at the local market, in the United States, that's all about the same. But groceries are overall slightly cheaper than they're going to be in the United States. We live on an island, so the variety is a little bit limited, but that's to be expected. Now, if you lived on mainland Portugal or throughout Europe as we travel, there's plenty of options and all kinds of availability as long as you're not stuck on U.S. brands, right? So if you're buying that old traditional brand, then you're going to, it's going to get real expensive real fast.
Yeah, shop local. Yeah, that's the main thing. Taxes are something to be considered here. They do have high income taxes. So if you make above 52,000 euros a year, then you're going to be into the 45% tax bracket. And it does have a graduated system like U.S., so it's, plan accordingly. There is an extreme importance of consulting a tax professional to understand the tax implications here. It's quite different. So you need to make sure you know what you're doing, not assume what you're doing. Don't pay attention to what things are on the internet. You talk to somebody about your taxes.
Yeah, and we'll link our tax professional that we use down below. Now, keep in mind, when we're talking about 45% tax brackets, at 52,000, we're literally talking about Portugal, not France or Italy or Greece or anybody else. In our Moving Abroad program, we kind of go through all of that for you. However, we're not going to touch on that here.
No, we've got several videos out on this, so you can. Navigating bureaucracy is another challenge. You're going to find slow and inefficient services to your standards anyway. You're going to find long wait lines for appointments at government offices. That's the way it is. A lot of people trying to get things done.
I know. It's like us trying to change our address to our new home. We've waited 8 weeks to get an appointment just to go in and change our address.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing you got to look forward to.
Residency permits can be an issue. It sounds silly here in Portugal. Simply we walked around with outdated residency cards for a period of time while we were waiting for our renewal.
And they said it was okay up to 6 months. You can have an outdated permit for up to 6 months. So.
Right. But that does, that can be limiting because then you really shouldn't be traveling outside the country.
Right, because you're going to show the permit to somebody else and it's expired.
One of the other things that, you want to keep an eye out for legal and administrative hurdles, such as inconsistent paperwork requirements. You might look it up online and it'll say you need these 4 things, right? And then you get to the office and they say you need these 4 things and you need to go over to this office and get X. So you get to that office and they're like, oh no, you don't need X, you need Y. And so then you're totally confused. So the main thing is whatever they told you at the office that you're going to, you take that back to them because they're the ones doing the work.
Yeah.
And so you need to provide them with what they have asked you for. It doesn't matter what someone else says. Okay. The other thing is keep in mind when there are risks when you're buying property. They have a lack of full disclosure here. Even when you're working with legal and good real estate agents, things don't always go to plan. Be prepared and understand that you just need to do the best due diligence that you can, get good legal advice, and move forward. It's all going to work out. Sometimes there's a few bumps in the road, but it does all work out.
On a serious note, we need to talk about the emotional and social impacts of moving abroad. What to expect. First off, you're going to miss your family and friends and events that you're used to back in the United States or your other home country. It's difficult being away from family. You can't be there when the soccer games are, the birthdays. You can't give a hug in person. All those things you don't have access to. And unfortunate events, at best, you're looking at a 24-hour turnaround time to purchase flights to go back in an emergency situation, God forbid, back to your home country. So, and a lot of times that's a big consideration for people to think about. So
it is. It is. Many people get here and they you think about all of those things and, it's an 8-hour flight. It's not a big deal. I'll make it back. Let's talk about making friends and the social part of it. We've met multiple people that come here that they don't get out there fast enough, and so they end up becoming very lonely. Don't allow that. Literally, when you meet somebody, schedule something with them. It doesn't matter if you think they're going to be your best friend ever or, they've invited you to a place to have a beer and you don't drink. Okay, go have a water.
Yeah, there are other people that are moving here for the
Yeah.
same likes and concerns that you
They're
have,
trying to
so.
do the same thing you
Yeah.
are, right? They're
Yeah.
all trying to make friends. So just get out there. Don't let that emotional piece or the loneliness set in. And if it does, then that means get out there even more,
Yeah.
okay? Because there's events. We even host events to get people out. Some people, it's new people coming to the island. Others, it's just everybody meeting back up where we all met online prior. And then some are people that have lived here for months, but they didn't, their social network, they needed to grow. So they come so they can grow their social network, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Emotional and social impact needs to be considered heavily.
Some final thoughts for you to consider. Adjust expectations and enjoy the new experiences, regardless of where from point A to point B you're moving. And embrace the slower pace of life. That's what this is all about. You're enjoying yourself. This is your time to retire and enjoy your new environment and lifestyle. So take it slow and enjoy the road.
Yeah. Thoroughly do your research. Make sure you truly do understand the cost of living of your chosen area. You know, what really is the cost of the housing? Go there, find out. You know, do your shopping on your scouting trip. Hook up with a real estate agent. We forever are telling people to do that. So that you understand what really is a rental going for today. Make sure you understand how the healthcare system works and how you get involved and how much that's going to cost you. Understand your taxes, what that's going to be for you personally, not for me. Understand the cultural differences and the practical adjustments. You know, do your best to understand those and understand that that is part of the fun, but it's also part of that is sometimes a little difficult.
Our Moving Abroad program is out and takes you through all the steps A through Z. And you can find a link in the description below. Is life better here in Europe than in North America? Is it really different? Yes, it is actually different, but not always for the best. What questions do you have? What are your concerns? Leave them in the comment section below. Bom dia!
Ooh, Bom Dia makes it happen.
Our It'll Be Fun Moving Abroad program is open. It pulls all the information you need to know into one location for you to refer back to at any time you want. We work through managing expenses, expectations, life coaching, choosing your new country, and more. Our programs, Patreon, and affiliates are how we support this channel. Links are located in the description of our videos as well as on our website and Patreon. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your financial support is truly appreciated, allowing us to create new content. We hope you continue to come along with us on our new adventure. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to help us grow. The next stage in your life is a journey.